Hey, sweetheart, I know it must seem strange me bringing you to this exact same restaurant 2 nights in a row. This beautiful table right by the ocean just at sunset. I remember how happy you were last night when I told you that I was going to buy you a brand new car, but I just hadn't made up my mind which one of the two cars I was going to purchase yet. Well, I've got some more news for you tonight. And it's really going to be good for our relationship. What's that news? Well, I've decided to not buy you a car at all. Yeah, I think it's too soon in the relationship. And yeah, I know you told your friends, and I know you went to bed excited last night. But, it's just art of the deal. And that's kind of what we're doing here, isn't it? We're kind of just working our way through this. And, probably financially long term it'll be better for me, which will be better for you. And now, how many of you saw yesterday's video where I made the allegation that I was going to, tongue-in-cheek, I was going to go buy the Patriot Nurse a brand new car, but I hadn't decided which one I was going to buy yet. And I had it narrowed down to a 2025 BMW X4M competition or a 2025 Chevy Malibu. Now, a lot of people chimed in the comment section yesterday with, well, domestic cars this, foreign cars that, but you'd have to be a pretty low IQ individual to choose a Chevy Malibu over a BMW X4 if somebody else was paying for it, if it was just going to be a gift. Even though they look the same, they're entirely different vehicles. And I used this analogy to talk about why Trump was complaining about why there are no American cars on the streets of Berlin or Shanghai or Vienna or wherever, Tokyo. I mean, half of American cars don't fit on their roads, but the idea is that Chevy Malibu is a pile of garbage compared to a BMW X4M. It's just not even the same vehicle. Now, what if I did this, though, like what Trump did today? What if I just came back and said, nope, sorry. Oops, hold on. Oh, sorry, hun. I just changed my mind. I'm not going to do it now. Art of the deal. What do you think, hypothetically speaking here, so nobody starts any rumors, hypothetically speaking, what do you think the Patriot Nurse would think of any man, me or any other man, that would promise to buy her a vehicle one day and then get her hopes up and tell her it's narrowed down to two vehicles and it's just going to be a coin flip as to which one and all this, and then the next day just change mind? James 1:8 from the King James Version of the Holy Bible. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. For those of you that don't know what this is about, of course, Donald Trump has been yo-yoing back and forth between, well, I'm going to tariff these people, but not these people, but no, not those people. And then we're going to raise them up really high, and then we're going to retaliate, but then not retaliate against these others, and then all over the place, and yo-yoing the stock market. You see, this is the point that people are trying to bend themselves into pretzels to explain, that it was all really the plan all the way from the beginning, that he was going to do this and then do that and do the other, somehow to put Xi Jinping or anyone else on edge. I don't think Xi Jinping, the leader of China, is losing any sleep over any of this, but it would be a pretty shitty thing to do, wouldn't it? Ladies, unreliable men, down in the comments, let's hear the stories about unreliable men. Men who say one thing and then do another, regardless of what their excuse is. What kind of a man do you want? Steady Eddie? Or do you want all over the place? I think we know what the vast majority of women would want. Because when you go through the Bible and you read about what makes a good man, what makes a good, decent man, an honorable man, is that he is reliable. And he just doesn't banty about in the wind to give himself a feeling of being in control. Real quick, I don't ever want to forget this. God bless all of you who've joined us Patreon. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. Almost got the finishing touches on brand new videos for the top 2 levels over there, the unit commanders, the brigade commanders. Stand back, stand by, 24 hours at the most. We will have it up. Thank you so much for your patience. Fully refundable, by the way. First 90 days, no questions asked. Tons of videos over there for all levels. 2 a month, 5 a month, 10 or 15, whatever it is. You can always get your money back, no matter what. Love to have you over there. God bless. Let's get right to it, though. Let's get down to the real deal. I'm adding tariffs. This will create jobs. Here's my signed pledge to support whomever the Republicans decide to nominate, and then when it gets down to 2 people, basically reneging on your signed pledge. Who remembers that from 2016, 2017? Oh, no, I'm going to take tariffs away. Oh, I'm going to add tariffs, but only on these people. But then I'm going, seriously? Do you really think Russia and China are looking at this and going, oh my goodness, we just can't handle this. It is too much 9D chess for us. It's just beyond our ability to comprehend the genius that is Donald Trump. You really think that's what's happening? And there's something a lot of people have out there forgotten about. Ivanka Trump's brand in China is thriving. How many of you knew that she was seen as a goddess over there? Earlier this month, Ivanka Trump's company won monopoly rights to sell Ivanka brand jewelry, bags, and spa services in China. She's compared to this Chinese goddess, the legendary Shi, I guess, Xishi, pronounce that however you want, I don't really care. In fact, they think over in China, a lot of people think Ivanka is the real president. Lee Moya, 31, who runs an app for running venue space in Beijing all the times, we think she has the brains, not her father. And isn't that interesting how Ivanka Trump won those lucrative Chinese trademarks the same day her and her husband and her father dined at Mar-a-Lago with the leaders of China, who immediately granted Ivanka Trump 18 trademarks in 2 months. After which Trump said that he had developed a friendship with Xi Jinping. See, everybody forgets this. Everybody forgets this. But last July, what you're looking at is a thumbnail from a video that I did, and I called this last July 13th, I think it was, of last year, where I talked about Trump and Ivanka and their ties to China and how all this is a big, giant freaking scam. From Honest Don, the Bible salesman, the guy who tried to sell steaks with his name on it and bankrupted a company. He couldn't sell steaks profitably to Americans. He couldn't sell vodka with his name on it profitably to Americans. And he had 4 different casinos, literally a business designed to take advantage of people with a horrible addiction. He had nothing but a room full of addicts in his casino, and he still bankrupted 4 different casinos. And I'm sorry, but maybe she learned something hanging out with her dad and his mistress and his 3rd wife at the Playboy Mansion. I still haven't gotten any answers from any guys that if they had, let's say you won some money, let's say you became very rich, maybe not as rich as him, but would you, if you had a grown daughter, dress her up basically in a hooker outfit and then find some trollop and then dress her up in a hooker outfit and then go hang out at some adult establishment with a whole bunch of other girls who are basically just softcore prostitutes, one of which you were sleeping with while this girl was pregnant? But we're supposed to trust the guy. Oh, and more news. How many of you know who Caroline Leavitt is? The White House press secretary. See, she sits here in her gold-studded, emblazoned cross and talks about American values and talks about how when the French said that they had a problem with Donald Trump, that the French shouldn't say anything because the French owe us everything because of World War II, not understanding that the French bailed us out in the Revolutionary War. But it's funny that she has a problem with the French, because here is Caroline Leavitt, showing off her new $4,800 Louis Vuitton purse. Yeah, that's right, ladies. You know, buy American, America first, make America great again, bring American jobs back. Yeah, Louis Vuitton is a French brand, if I'm not mistaken. And, that was after, of course, she put on her skin-tight patent leather pants and went out showing off her slumming, of course, around in her 2,300 Vuitton day bag, basically. These people are not the same as you and me. They're not. But this guy's the enemy, of course. This guy. Florida Maquis, who is that? You ready for this? Sit down. Remember when there was this recent allegation of an American that had got scooped up off the streets because he was allegedly an MS-13 gang leader? And he got sent down to El Salvador, and judges have tried to say, you need to bring this guy back because he has nothing to do with MS-13? Yeah, this is your MS-13 gang leader. This puffy-faced, no tattoos guy with his hat on backwards. Seriously, how many of you have ever seen a picture of an MS-13 gang member? How many of them have jowly looks to them? They're all skinny as rails, aren't they? Like they haven't eaten in a week, right? And they're all tatted up all over the face. This is who got picked up and deported to El Salvador for allegedly being a member of MS-13, and he doesn't have a tattoo on him. He doesn't have a single tattoo on him. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's more. How many of you have seen this? POTUS, we're honored to have Governor Gretchen Whitmer from the great state of Michigan at the White House. We're working on Selfridge Air Base, blah, 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 blah. You remember Gretchen Whitmer from 2020? When Donald Trump called her a dictator in Michigan? For largely doing what the federal government was trying to do to the entire country. Donald Trump, at the time, trying to do to the entire country, Gretchen Whitmer actually does it, and then she's, of course, a tyrant for doing what the federal government would have had everybody do. Other than Florida fighting back, there was no one else. Period. Of note. Now she's an honored guest. Now she's an honored guest at the White House. Isn't that interesting? Maybe we'll have Hillary back. I mean, maybe we will, because, hell, she got a standing ovation at the Trump luncheon. That's all over YouTube. So tell me, which Trump are we going to get? The adding tariffs Trump, the removing tariffs Trump, the Whitmer's a dictator, Whitmer's an honored guest, Hillary's a good person. You know, I don't want to prosecute Hillary because that would be divisive. Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of Not One Arrest. How many different labels do you think you could put on these arrow signs with Donald Trump? Whiplash. You see, a long time ago, people said, you know what, Donald Trump, and this was before he got elected in 2016, Donald Trump has changed party affiliations twice in his life. Both directions. He was a Democrat, and then he was a Republican, and then for a short time he had his own independent party. Then he went back to being a Democrat, and now he's a Republican again. So this shouldn't surprise anybody. Tariffs, no tariffs. Tariffs, no tariffs. Up and down, back and forth. Yeah, honey, I'm going to buy you a car, brand new car. Be excited. Next day, oh, no, sorry, bad idea. Bad idea. I got ahead of myself. Art of the deal, though. You know, art of the deal. You know, it's a free country. It's a free country. We can't, be held to our word this way. We can just decide to just flip a switch. And that's that. Quick poll. Seriously, Don, I want to hear what you think the Patreoners would say. Let's say I had done this. Should she kick me to the curb? She should not have anything to do with me? Or any other guy? Who would promise to buy a car and then the next day just, nah. Yeah, I know I said that, but that was then. That was then. This is now. You know, sun went down, sun came up. It's a whole new day. Art of the deal. Doesn't sound so great now, does it? So I will leave that there. Once again, God bless. Thank you for joining us on Patreon. Very much appreciate it. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.